Is this the end of Destiny? Cue over the top intro. Anyway, Destiny 2 has been going through a lot of trouble recently, as I'm sure pretty much every single FPS fan has heard about. Not even Destiny fans, but every single FPS fan. It's getting really bad. Earlier this month, Destiny hit an all-time low 30-day average player count of 18,439 players. I think it has actually gotten even lower since then as the days continue marching on, which is not a good sign at all. It's absolutely terrible. I mean, 18,000 players, to be quite frank with you, is really good for most games. 90% of games would love to have 18,000 concurrent players over 30 days. I would love to have 18,000 concurrent viewers per day on my YouTube channel. Let's get there, guys. That's actually really, really good in the grand scheme of things. But 18,000 players for Destiny, when you compare it to what Destiny is and what it was in its peaks, 18,000 is downright terrible and a frightening number to see for Destiny content creators and for, the team at Bungie themselves. On top of that, CEO Pete Parsons stepped down on August 21st, 2025, the CEO of Bungie. So they're hitting an all-time low player count. Their CEO left. I mean, Destiny is in a very, very, very rough spot. But I want to kind of talk about it a little bit because I'm looking at all these people that are kind of doomers, and I understand why. Especially Destiny content creators they're kind of worried they're going to lose their fucking jobs. So I understand why they're worried. I understand why they're so down. I understand why it's so Destiny 2 is cooked and it's never coming back. But I kind of want to talk in this video. I want to go over the situation. But then I also want to talk about why I think this situation is salvageable for Destiny 2. Why I think Bungie can make it work. And maybe a CEO change is something they needed to help make Destiny 2 reach the heights of greatness once again. So, I just want to talk about this a little bit. And I hope you guys don't mind. First thing I want to say, the situation certainly looks very bad. But there hasn't been back-to-back months of decline yet, really. Back in January of this year, Destiny 2 was at a concurrent player count, average player count of 18,542 over their 30-day period, which is now their second lowest, but was lowest at the time. Then after January, some updates came in, and the player base bounced back up quite a bit. So first off, I just want to start us off by saying that this low player count isn't unfamiliar territory for Destiny 2. It's not completely unheard of. Destiny has had some pretty bad lows throughout its entire existence of a game. Destiny 2 has. But, so this is by no means unfamiliar territory, and this is why I still believe it's so salvageable. Now, if you had back-to-back months, like you had your all-time low in October, your all-time low in November. November comes after October, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it does. But if you had back-to-back all-time lows in back-to-back months, and then make it back-to-back-to-back months in December, then that's when your game is fucking cooked. It's over for you. But as of right now, they're still in familiar territory, right? So it's not the worst thing ever. And when we talk about Destiny, we have to keep in mind that despite its losing popularity, it remains in a league of its own when it comes to FPS games. It has amazing graphics, insanely good gunplay, and exciting and interesting abilities. It genuinely feels like such a good game to play. As someone who gave up on Destiny 2 and is not a Destiny 2 fan, I'm actually a huge Warframe player. If you look at my videos on this channel, it's almost exclusively Warframe with some other games thrown in every once in a while. And I played Destiny 1 back in the day and a little bit of Destiny 2 when it first released. But as someone that isn't the audience of Destiny 2, someone that isn't constantly talking about how cool Destiny 2 is or how much I love Destiny 2, because I don't, we can all understand that Destiny 2 is one of the best products on the market right now when it comes to FPS gameplay. Now, the issue with Destiny 2 is that it has, in my opinion, at least for a game of its size, one of the worst new player experiences in modern gaming. For an MMO, FPS, massive multiplayer, whatever you want to call it, it has absolutely terrible new player experiences. There's so many different little things you have to learn and understand. There's so many different little things going on in the game that makes it bad. But the absolutely massive, largest issue for new players is that content is constantly being vaulted, and that's not a huge issue if that content wasn't integral to the main story of the game. there are very few people that pick up a video game and don't care about the story at all, especially when a game like Destiny is so reliant on the story for its like set building, for its world building. It's so important for Destiny to understand what's going on and why things are like this and why you're fighting these enemies and why this looks like this. The story is so important, and new players cannot play the story at all. I mean, they can, but they can't play a lot of the story. They literally can't even like go through the final shape and complete it and not miss huge parts of the story that are integral to it. They will not understand what's going on for most of the story. You have to literally look up YouTube videos of the Red War campaign to even see that anymore. And that's a really fun campaign that I enjoyed a lot, that was well made with great voice acting and great animation. And they just vaulted that and no one can ever fucking see that again. Imagine as a new player having that experience where a game doesn't even let you play its main story that it constantly references in the new content. Not only that, but that also pisses off veteran players who have paid for a lot of these expansions, and you know, unfortunately their money kind of went down the drain, because guess what, you can't play the shit you fucking paid for. I paid for Destiny 2 when it first came out, and guess what, I can't play the fucking Red War anymore. That pissed me off. I stopped playing the game. I think I stopped playing before that even happened, but you get the point. There's some people that have that mindset. And then on top of that, being a terrible new player experience, what they do for new players is bad for veteran players. New content, ironically, puts everyone back at a level playing field, which would help new players if there were any. But since there isn't, because they can't play a complete game, meaning they can't play the story, this just harms veteran players. Now, recently, due to intense backlash, Bungie changed this and is no longer resetting everyone's levels, and is instead just going to boost up the very few new players to the game for the newest update. So that's a good sign for veteran players. They'll be happy, I guess, with that. Unfortunately, this popular change probably came a little bit too late, because people have already left the game. Angry players are already gone, and they're mad that this was ever a change that was going to happen in the first place, and they're tired of having their level reset every fucking season, every fucking update. Your weapons are made irrelevant, your weapons are made bad, your armor is made worse, and you have to regrind for everything again, and your God Smasher 2 Ultra fucking blaster that you worked so hard to get is now like a cupcake launcher because a new update came out or a new season came out. That shit pisses off people. People don't want to keep dealing with that over and over again. They want their cool, awesome weapons that are iconic in the game to stay good, or at least be able to be made good without grinding for 50 fucking hours. But Destiny 2 and Bungie has not believed in that, and that cycle over and over again has also harmed player retention. So when they're finally seemingly changing that cycle, people are already fed up and pissed. And you know, you can just look at gaming journalists, you can look at YouTubers. Belief in Destiny is at an all-time low. Now, I was looking through some Game Journal articles, and I want to talk about all the gaming web articles, whatever the fuck you want to call them, journalists. Let's be honest, calling any of those, like, any of them fucking real journalists is, like, giving them way too much credit. The gaming journalist scene is fucking terrible. But a lot of huge, relative to gaming journalism, people were speaking on Destiny, such as, you know, the Game Post, Forbes, PC Gamer, Push Square, Comic Book, The Gamer, and they were all singing and talking about the downfall of Destiny, using the downfall of Destiny to get clicks. And of course, that doomer mentality that they're spreading is just making Destiny 2 situation even worse. And it's, you know, crazy that it's gotten to this point for one of the most popular games of all time. And you have YouTubers are doing the same. All the popular YouTubers that play Destiny are talking about how bad of a state the game is in. And once again, I understand where they're coming from. I'd be talking about it too if my income depended on the health of Destiny 2 and Bungie seemingly just didn't give a shit about the game. I would be incredibly worried. You know, if there's 18,000 concurrent Destiny players per day, you know, maybe there's like, you know, 500,000 unique players a month at this point, right? I don't know the exact numbers of that. But let's say there's a certain amount of unique players per month playing. That's your audience for Destiny content. And they're watching that number slowly go down and down and down and down as less people care about Destiny 2. And that means their potential audience, their potential viewers, is getting lower and lower. So while, game journalists are being doomer and are, jumping on a situation like vultures, I do understand, independent YouTubers and people that make content about the game being worried about the game failing and why they're talking about it. I don't think they're doing it just for clicks or views. I think they truly are worried about their situation and don't know what to do. But even with all these things, all these bad, terrible signs, with Destiny and Bungie seemingly making the worst decision at every single corner, they turn the wrong way every time. The sign says go right. The community is begging them to go right. Everyone is telling them, please go right. Please, please, please. They turn left. That's what they've been doing for years and years and years. And the game has been able to keep going just because how high quality the gameplay is, how awesome the setting is, and how well written the story is. That is the only reason that despite constant wrong turns, that this game has been kept alive for all of these years. But it's finally getting to the point where they ended the major story. They completed the game. They completed the main story everyone started with back in the day. And they're trying to start something new now, and people just don't give a shit anymore. And then new players can't give a shit because they don't even know the old fucking story because they can't play it. And this is finally why Bungie and Destiny 2 is seeing the punishment of their decisions. They're seeing the punishment of those constant left turns when they were supposed to turn right. But the silver lining is that the reason Destiny 2 is dying or in a bad shape right now isn't because the game sucks or the game is bad or people don't want to play it. It's just bad leadership and bad decision making, which is why, new people being in charge of Destiny, new people running the company could possibly save it if they just make some decent decisions that the community sides with, or the community at least sees them trying to make things better. Because all they need to do is release 2 good updates in a row, and everyone, what a good DLC, a good seasonal package, a good season, everyone is right fucking back playing Destiny 2. I promise you that. Their player numbers are going through the roof if they release anything good. If they make the right turn once, the right turn where the community wants them to make, if they make that turn once, they are right back in a healthy spot. But they have proved that they are completely incompetent of making that decision for so long, for some unknown reason. So I understand why it's hard for people to believe that they will ever make that right decision. But because they're finally feeling the pain and suffering of all their bad decision making, maybe Bungie will finally make some decisions that are beneficial to the community and beloved by the community. And if they do this, it will turn around the game's current trajectory and make it once again a popular game and increase player numbers, because Destiny is a super unique game and there aren't any FPS games close to the quality of Destiny 2 that are in any way similar to it, besides being an FPS, meaning despite its bad state, it still has a stranglehold on the markets of looter shooter space FPSs. There's nothing like it. The most similar game to Destiny 2 in concept is something like Warframe, but Warframe and Destiny 2 don't play alike at all. If you're playing Destiny 2 and Warframe and you go from Destiny to Warframe, you go from Warframe to Destiny 2, these games do not feel similar to play. The gunplay is nothing alike. The abilities are nothing alike. It's completely different. So, when I say Destiny has a stranglehold on its market, it absolutely does. You can't name any games that are like Destiny that fill the void of Destiny. People are leaving Destiny because they just keep making the wrong decision. Not because they're finding something else to play. A lot of Destiny players are going to Warframe, and Warframe has seen a surge in players because of this to a certain extent. However, it's just because they want to feel the aesthetic of being in space playing a looter shooter. If Destiny was good, and they made the right decisions, they would go right back to playing Destiny 2. I promise you that. But they're settling for Warframe. And once again, I think Warframe is better than Destiny. I love Warframe. But people that want to play Destiny 2 are settling for Warframe because it gives off the same vibes, the same environment, good graphics, looks nice. But they really want to play that FPS amazing gunplay of Destiny 2, but they can't do it because Destiny 2 keeps making the wrong fucking decision and doesn't have good content coming out and keeps fucking them in the ass. Right? And that's what I'm getting at here. Because of this, because Destiny 2 is a good game, because it does have a stranglehold on its market, Destiny's audience can easily be recaptured. All it would take is for Bungie to stop this comedy of errors and mistakes. That's all it would take. I know I'm going on a rant here, right? And I know it's, it's stupid. It's not a great rant. It's me basically saying, if Destiny stops, if Bungie stops doing the wrong thing and starts doing the right thing, the game will be revived. You can say that about anything in the world. But the reason it isn't stupid when we're talking about Bungie and Destiny 2 is because they make like the most comically bad decisions and do the most comically worst thing possible for the community time and time again. It's hilarious. If they just stopped touching the fucking game, the player numbers would probably recover, because all they do is make the game worse. It's actually baffling how they've managed to do this. I don't understand. I literally don't understand. They have gold in their lap and they're like rubbing shit on it. I don't know. I'm sorry. This video turned into a rant. It's supposed to be more structured. It was honestly supposed to sound hopeful. I don't know if it came out sounding very hopeful. But the point I'm making is that Destiny 2 will not die as long as Bungie actually tries to keep it alive. That's all it will take, is them trying to keep it alive and fixing some of the issues that players are having, and maybe unvaulting some fucking content if that's even possible, and then making a new player experience better. And look at my last video. It's talking about how important it is for Warframe. And I know it's just topic change here. My last video is talking about Warframe and how Warframe does a great job of making content for new players and improving the new player experience. Improving the new player experience is the most important thing to do to keep a game healthy. You get new players in, increase your player counts, those new players become veteran players, so then you make content for those new veteran players, and you can repeat the cycle, because those veteran players are spending money, they're more likely to be whales of your game. So you make more money with the veteran players that became veterans because they like new player experience, and you make more veteran content for them, but after you make that content, you have to make more new player content that's focused on new players, so more new players come in, and then those new players become veterans, make content for them, they become whales, spend more money on the game, and then you repeat the cycle over and over again. And that's how you do a healthy game strategy. And that's what Warframe does. They're actively improving the experience for new players to increase player retention, so in turn they increase the amount of veterans in the game that spend money on the game, so in turn they can make more content that progresses the story, the content they want to make for veterans, and then in turn, with the veterans spending more money, they can make more new player content to get new players in and increase new player retention. That's what Warframe is doing. It's super smart. That's why they've had steady player numbers for 10 fucking years. That's why they're averaging more players in Destiny now, per a day, per a month, even though it started off as a much less popular game, because they care about the new player experience. Destiny 2 has never given a shit about new players. In fact, they don't give a shit about veteran players. They don't give a shit about anyone. And that's why the game is dying right now. But if they just start giving if they took an ounce of shit, if they reached into the toilet and grabbed a piece of their shit and gave it to the community, they would have a good player count and they would have a healthy game. Anyway, that's all I have for this. I'm sorry I ranted here. I kind of lost my fucking direction, I'll be honest with you. But stay blessed, guys. Huge shout out to my members, Pangoidus, Tangoidus, Jay, and Simon King 5000. You guys are awesome. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you guys want to become a member, it's pretty much just early access to videos right now, and I am actually starting a healthier schedule of videos, so there will be some early access videos to actually get to see. As the time of making this video, I actually don't know how many early access videos will be up, because this video is going to be on early access for like 3 fucking days or 4 days, so it's like, you get the point. So become a member, support the channel, and it'll help me make better content. I have a pretty, actually huge Destiny lore video coming out here soon. So if you care about Destiny, check that out when it releases, probably next Sunday. But yeah, thank you for all for watching. Stay blessed, stay happy. Hope to see you all in the next one, and goodbye.